Something was terribly wrong. A red signal light glowed ominously where it had no right to be. The robbers had cunningly rewired the signal box, compelling the train to an unexpected halt. As it screeched to a stop, the crew sprang into action. They boarded the train, their faces concealed by gloves and masks. The Great Train Robbery, 1963, the $50 million heist that shook Britain. One quiet night in 1963, the impossible happened. 15 men, one train, no weapons, yet they stole millions. No one died, no gunshots, just the greatest train robbery in British history, a heist so perfect, it could have been written by Hollywood. This is the unbelievable true story of the Great Train Robbery of 1963, a tale of masterminds, betrayal, and a forgotten teacup that brought them down. It was August 7, 1963. The Royal Mail train departed Glasgow at 6:50 p.m. Unknown to the public, the train was carrying a staggering £2.6 million in cash, today worth over $50 million. No security, no armed guards, just a few mail workers and one unsuspecting train driver. But somewhere in the shadows, a group of 15 carefully selected men were preparing for their moment. Bruce Reynolds, the criminal mastermind, had been planning this for months. He assembled an elite team, former soldiers, electricians, a train expert, and even a getaway driver. They called it The Job, and it was about to go down in history. At precisely 3:03 a.m. on the fateful night of August 8th, the train neared Bridego Bridge in Buckinghamshire. But something was terribly wrong. A red signal light glowed ominously where it had no right to be. The robbers had cunningly rewired the signal box, compelling the train to an unexpected halt. As it screeched to a stop, the crew sprang into action. They boarded the train, their faces concealed by gloves and masks. No shouting, no chaos, just a silent, surgical precision that sent chills down the spine. The driver, Jack Mills, was struck and knocked unconscious, but not killed. They uncoupled the engine and two carriages, then drove it half a mile to the bridge where their truck waited. In under 30 minutes, they transferred 120 heavy mail bags full of cash into waiting vehicles. Then they disappeared into the night, leaving the train stripped and silent. The gang retreated to Leatherslade Farm, a secluded property they had bought for this sole purpose. There, they celebrated. They counted money, played cards, even joked using Monopoly with real cash. But there was one rule: leave no trace. They planned to burn down the farmhouse, but procrastination led to a fatal mistake. When they finally abandoned the hideout, they left behind fingerprints, food wrappers, and a single teacup. The police arrived, dusted for prints, and the trail began. Scotland Yard launched the largest manhunt in British history. More than 100 officers were assigned full-time to the case. In weeks, they arrested 12 of the 15 robbers, but 3 had vanished, including Bruce Reynolds and Ronnie Biggs. The trial that followed was a media frenzy. The sentences? Brutal. Most were given 25 to 30 years in prison, unheard of for a crime that spilled no blood. But the story didn't end there. In 1965, Ronnie Biggs pulled off something no one expected. He escaped from Wandsworth Prison. He climbed over a wall with a rope ladder, jumped into a van, and vanished. For years he lived under fake names in Australia and Brazil. He became a global sensation, giving interviews and taunting British authorities. Extradition was impossible. Brazil didn't send back criminals who had children with local citizens. And Biggs used that loophole masterfully.
Breaking news.
In 2001, old and sick, he returned voluntarily to the UK. He was imprisoned again, served 8 years, and died in 2013, a criminal folk hero in the eyes of many. Bruce Reynolds, the mastermind, lived on the run for 5 years. He traveled through Mexico and Canada with a fake identity. Eventually, he was caught in 1968. Unlike Biggs, Reynolds never sought fame. He served his sentence quietly, and later wrote books about the heist. He passed away in 2013, the same year as Ronnie Biggs, bringing full circle the end of an era. The Great Train Robbery wasn't just a heist, it became a symbol of British criminal folklore. It inspired films, TV dramas, and endless conspiracy theories. Some still believe millions were never recovered. What made it so unforgettable? It was the perfect crime. No violence, no bullets, just brains, timing, and nerves of steel. The robbers weren't just thieves, they were legends. If this real-life heist thrilled you, subscribe now for more cinematic stories of history's boldest crimes, unsolved mysteries, and true crime legends. Hit like, share the story. And remember, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.